It's your boy JAYSTAR back again, man, with a exciting early look, man, at the first week showdown, man. Golly, opening game, man, of the season, man. I cannot wait. Man, I cannot wait, man. This is so woo, I'm just ready for this to be back, man, for real. Like the football, it's cool watching the Hall of Fame game and things like that, but I'm even excited for preseason, man. I expect a lot of just excitement because it's a lot of good, young quarterbacks that's going to be out there playing early and stuff, and especially for my team with the Packers and things like that. So very excited for that starting, next week. But we about to get this early look at this showdown, man, for guess it's what like banner raising night for, the Chiefs and everything like that. Everybody's so hyped on Detroit. So should be a lot going on here, man. But let's see. We got Pat Mahomes just to get it started. You already know, man, when the season actually gets closer, I kind of go over these super thorough, man, like of defenses that these teams play, what I want to say, positions that they give up, where they give up the touchdowns, all that type of stuff as we get closer, because I want to wait because I see like Kadarius Toney, of course, is going to be, looks like he's questionable now. Isaiah Pacheco, same thing. So definitely we'll come down to that, that last week and have a video popped out for y'all with actually going over a lineup. But right now I just want to go over pricing, and who potentially could be in a good spot and things like that. So we got, Pat Mahomes, of course, he started off last season with a bang. Like, golly, if you go look at this, 37.9 fantasy, threw 5 touchdowns, almost 400 yards in his first game. And it was like, I don't know, like, what was the need for them to blow them out by like 20 something points, but I really felt like, I was kind of looking forward already at the schedule here. And I was like, yeah, they play the Chargers, on a Thursday night too. So it was a short week. I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to need some more Pat Mahomes lineups for week 1 just because I knew he was probably going to play really good, getting prepared really for his week 2 matchup against Herbert, and how electrifying he already knew that offense was, and probably he was going to have to put up big points. So he kind of got it going. I feel like he took this game more as a practice and went off. I haven't looked for it yet to see who their second week is this time, but I mean, he starts off right into one of the highest scoring offenses. So, like, going against one of the highest scoring offenses in the league last season. So, yeah, I definitely feel like he probably is going to try to start off with a bang. His price seems worth it. Even if, let's see, if you put him in the flex, how much does he drop? 12,000. Okay, so you go ahead and put like $6,000 right there that you get to save. We got Kelsey, of course, he started off too with a bang last year, like 29 points, like for a tight end, man. This is crazy, man. Like just being Kelsey, had what 9 targets, caught 8 of them, basically like 90 something percent of his targets was caught, 121 yards and a touchdown. Man, but he did go against one of the weakest defenses against the tight end here. Like everybody knows, we usually pick on Arizona, especially if they play a tight end that we know usually gets about 5 targets a game or something like that. So he just killed it because he's the one, the best tight end in the league. Of course, he's going to take advantage of that matchup. And let's see, so his pricing is good. It looks like you still get the same 6,000 savings if you put him in the flex instead. Amon St. Brown, I'm expecting Amon St. Brown to be like Cooper Kupp. I would say even a Jefferson level receiver this year, like for real, but more Cooper Kupp because Cooper Kupp I would say plays a slot. And that's where Amon St. Brown kind of stays at. When they do get the Jameson Williams boy back, let's see, I'm pretty sure they probably got him all the way down here somewhere. Let's see, 300. Yeah. So since he's out for suspension for 6 weeks, it sucks. It's like, man, his first 2 seasons is gonna be like a rocky, I feel like, seasons for him because he started off last season, he didn't get to play till week 8 coming back from an injury, and now he's suspended for gambling, reasons and things like that. But for 6 games now, so it's like back-to-back seasons of almost missing half of the season. But I think when he gets out there, man, possibly like week 7, 8, and things like that, definitely he's gonna be a huge threat, man. Like he reminds me of watching CeeDee Lamb when he was first coming into the league and everything. Like the route running is crisp, he has the speed, everything like that, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to picking him once he gets over this suspension. But as for now, Not a good play, of course, because he'll be out. But like I said, so that all that does though, it makes me key in on St. Brown being like a Cooper Cup, man, because there's not a lot of weapons here. St. Brown is the most elite weapon, so best believe their offense is going to be drawn up like crazy to get St. Brown open. And this matchup is not even hard to do that. Like he could go off. 15-300 might not be enough. He might be the best captain already just looking at this for real because of Pat, Kelsey. Yeah, you definitely feel like you probably need them in this lineup, period. Like they're going to definitely draw up plays to get Kelsey going, get him, started off right out the gun, boom, like just going off. And same thing for Pat. He's going to be looking for Kelsey a lot more just because also like the targets that he, I would say that are go-to out the gun, you know what I mean, that's gonna just guarantee to show up, might not really be there. Like, he has Kadarius Toney, decent price here, but we never even saw Kadarius Toney have a like a boatload of targets or anything like that. Like 7 here with 10. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at this, 2-12. He's running. Of course, he is going to take, I feel like, the McCole Hardman role. So he is going to probably get a little bit more rushing, a little bit more of those screen type plays and things like that. And then some shots down the field, I feel like. But besides that, like I said, we just didn't get to see it. We have a game here that at least was 19 points behind that. But it just wasn't enough, volume to show what he's capable of doing, week in and week out. So that's why I'm saying they're going to definitely draw up mad plays for Kelsey then first week. And then I would say Isaiah Pacheco, yeah, it's a good play here. I would probably want Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit more, just because I feel like they're going to use him like the way we thought Swift was supposed to be used. I feel like Gibbs is going to be used. Yeah, Montgomery is probably going to take over the Jamal Williams role and just take the touchdowns at goal line. But the only thing is, I feel like Gibbs might not come up short. I feel like he has that agility, like a burst and things like that. Swift sometimes got caught at goal lines or 10-yard line, 5-yard lines, came short sometimes like that. I feel like Gibbs possibly doesn't do that, especially against the Chiefs too. Like they're not that amazing, especially pass catching in the backs and things like that. So I could see him being a really good play. Like I said, Goff doesn't have a lot of weapons, so it's like, Amon St. Brown, yeah, then like dumping it out the backfield or running it sometimes. Gibbs, of course, like I said, Montgomery can steal some of the touchdowns, at the goal line. But then when you go through the rest of the targets here, I mean, you like Marvin Jones Jr. is back, okay. Not expecting too much from him, but possibly since this, this first game, possibly he could do pretty well. Besides that, what are we looking at? Where is it at? Where are they at? Oh, did I play? Oh no, yeah, you got Josh Reynolds, who I would say Goff does look for in the red zone. He really does look for him in the red zone, and sometimes he looks for him on big third down plays and stuff like that. So yeah, I can see him going for Josh Reynolds for sure. I forgot who's the other receiver that I saw over here though. Man. Oh, okay. Khalif Raymond's still here. So for 1,200, Khalif Raymond, and I thought it was one more. I feel like I'm missing somebody here, man. Okay, so it doesn't look like I am. Or okay, so he just has Marvin Jones. He has it's Josh Reynolds. Okay, I got it. Yeah. So looks like Marvin Jones will be out wide, lining up as the number 1. It looks like probably, because St. Brown will definitely be in a slot. And then it's a toss up basically for they're gonna be tossing in Josh and then Khalif Raymond as well. So out on the third wide receiver, lining out wide. So besides that, I'm hearing good news about Laporta. So let's see, is there even saying it? Climb the depth chart, yeah. So looks like he's been doing very well at training camp and things like that. So I think he's going to be a big part of their offense, like. Because not having Hawkinson, you got to fill in those shoes somehow. Like somebody has to fill in their shoes, and Hawkinson used to get near 8 targets. We had games of Hawkinson putting up 40-something fantasy. In order for this offense, for the hype that's all behind the Detroit Lions this year, like it has to be all offense because defensively they don't got it. Like I'm sorry, they really don't. So it has to be the offense, and I'm like, how are you going to get going without? Of course, we already know what St. Brown's going to do. You're going to have to implement Gibbs like way more screenplay, just a lot of dumps, like at least like getting 5 or so touches in the pass a game, as well as getting at least possibly 15 possibly touches, on the run. I feel like to keep their offense explosive, they're going to need to do that. Then, they used to use Hawkinson so much. So I'm expecting Laporta to get 6 targets, at least this first game. Especially to be looked at in the red zone. So they usually keep it really simple. Detroit does when they get to the red zone. They're going to go to their biggest weapon if they're going to throw. So I definitely see Laporta, being that. And if not, they're going to try their hardest to get a mismatch. If they're still throwing, I'm saying, though. If they're going to try to get the biggest mismatch for Amon St. Brown. So besides that, they're going to rush it in. Like we saw the whole season with Jamal Williams, why he led the league in the rushing touchdowns and everything, because they're just going to keep it real simple. They're 5 yards away. They're going to just try to run the ball in, super strong. But so that kind of gives you, who we looking at for this, for I would say so far, at least this early look at, because these other, I would say Khalif and Reynolds, you taking just shots right there, one of them possibly to break a big one maybe, or I would say, Josh Reynolds, like gets one of those touchdowns in the goal line or something like that, and maybe hits one big play, possibly two as well. So, but besides that, usually that first week, people go to their best weapons and they go to them with high volume. So that's probably what we're going to be looking for. And that's why I said, like, with the Mahomes, it's like two teams almost nearly the same, because they have one reliable weapon and everybody else is just some guys, basically. So, like, I just don't see, who else is Pat really going to ridiculously. If somehow Kadarius Toney doesn't play, I do expect them to take some more shots at MVS. He showed up at least a game before the Super Bowl, got 8 targets, put up 116 yards. But besides that, in the San Francisco game, which he had less targets and still got to 111 yards, there wasn't too many games where he really did good, even with the targets and stuff like that. You got a 7-target game here in Denver and he put up 4. So, but I do think, he will get volume that game if somehow, Kadarius Toney is out for sure. I think Isaiah Pacheco will be used, but also you can't, CEH, I know he kind of fell out, but I do see them still using him possibly for goal line rushing attempts or something like that too. So, of course, McKinnon is going to be a great play. Like, if, just off the back, if I was making a lineup, like, I'm trying to definitely get a Kelsey McKinnon, since those were the two highest red zone targeted, like, receiving options for Pat Mahomes. And also, McKinnon at least has a benefit. He can run. They kind of do a little toss run play for Kelsey too. Yeah, first week, you probably are trying to aim at people like that. At least, you want those goal line, or you want them heavy volume, or plays drawn up for receiving options, or if it was a running back, then you would take the running back too. But yeah, it just gets narrowed down really quick though. Like I said, it makes it kind of easy. I feel like thinking that way, going that way with your lineups, especially, just thinking out first week, both teams have an advantage. It doesn't even really matter if the defense were strong, because you don't know what to expect, for the first week. You don't even know the chemistry of your defense, really. They could be, elite players, but it's the first week. And they have no film really to go by of what these teams are about to pull out, for the first week. They could come out with the most craziest game plan, and we already know Kansas City is going to do that, like, for sure. They're going to find so many ways to get Kelsey the ball and get the offense rolling off the back. Like, probably that whole first quarter will be a lot just Kelsey, just to make sure they get a full, what I would say, like 2 touchdowns off the first 2 drives type thing. I feel like the same thing with Detroit. It's going to be a lot of just St. Brown, get it to the running back or something like that, and possibly maybe they throw in, maybe the second time they get to the goal line, maybe they try to get Laporta or something like that. But they're going to go to their most reliable people first, man. Like, nobody wants to lose the first game. They say that only 25% of the league, when they lose first game, makes it into the playoffs. And since Detroit is on a hype, and Detroit I do already look forward for Detroit, and they do have a hard second game of the season. So they're going to definitely try to use this game and get going, like, with their offense really fast. And I mean, they have no choice anyways, because Kansas City is definitely going to put up points, and they're going to put that pressure on them. So great. This is a great, man. I'm glad this is the first game, because it feels like it will be at least for sure 3 touchdowns each. Just getting out, getting started with the season with a bang. It's the kind of excitement you want to look forward to. You want to see that type of game for the first game. I don't want to see a defensive game where it's 14-17 to win and stuff like that. I would love to see this game be like 28-21, something like that, or even possibly more. And it looks like we'll probably get that. When I'm just looking at these prices though so far, like, yes, like I said, the first three off the back, best captains, it looks like easily. Besides that, since we don't know what to expect for Gibbs, Kadarius Toney, man, if he's not hurt, possibly could be a decent play. But I would probably lean to where is he at? McKinnon before I even lean there, really. Just because, like I said, the goal line work. The goal line work was crazy. And besides that, I would probably skip MVS, even though I do know Detroit, since these two play the same style defense, he will have opportunities since he lines out wide and things like that to have a one-on-one matchup. And since he has that speed, it's just all on him to catch a big play and get going early, something like that. I know they do have other receivers in Sky Moore. Hearing stuff about Rice here. What I'm kind of lost on, I thought they had John Ross, and all I keep seeing is Justin Ross now, but they picked up John Ross, I heard, before when the season had ended or whatever, right before the Super Bowl and stuff like that. So it's kind of crazy that I guess I don't know if he didn't make the team or something like that. But yeah, I know they have Justin Ross, which he's a big body receiver, man. I think he's like 6'2", something like that, or maybe 6'4". It's around that range though. I know he has a height, so they could be using him for goal line down the line, and he's only not $300, $1,500. Yeah, could be taking shots that way too as well in certain lineups. When you're trying to, pick some of these higher captains, I could see him getting in and catching at least a touchdown or something like that. Especially, like I said, if Toney doesn't get in the game or something like that, or he's hurt, could see them tossing in something like that for a receiver. Of course, the Rice and Sky Moore is going to be a part of the offense. I see them probably playing in the slot, things like that, because they don't really have. Like, I don't know if they plan on using Toney in the slot, because it's like he's probably the best route runner they have, but everybody is just like speedy. Really, is like the route running isn't amazing for none of these players. No, like Tyreek Hill, he came in with an elite speed, of course, but then he perfected his route running, and that's what changed the game for him for sure. I don't really see too many route runners besides a Kadarius Toney here for them now. So if they don't have him, it's going to be like a lot of straight routes and things like that, slants and things. Yeah, that's about it really. And I feel like that actually makes it better for Detroit. I feel like if Kadarius Toney is not playing, I feel like this game will be more competitive if he doesn't get to play. But it will also make it feel like better for us too as well for picking our teams. I mean, our lineups here for this slate, because it narrowed down everything. Like, I feel like Kelsey and McKinnon will probably be heavily used if Kadarius Toney is not there. They will be shots taking to MVS. I feel like over all the other receivers, he would probably get the most opportunities, but he has failed us a lot of times. And I really just feel like it's because his route running isn't really crisp. So it's like he just straight routes, blow past somebody, every now and then, but that's not hard to cover. On the other end, it's like they at least have an elite route runner in the slot, my bad, in the slot, y'all. And man, like, he's going to get one-on-one coverage, period. Like, I'm sorry, like, you have a lot of space in the slot. They have to kind of double out wide and things like that. So he's going, and he just knows how to get open, man. Like, St. Brown just knows how to get open. Like, I don't see how he's probably not the number one, probably actually best play here. Especially since Jamison Williams isn't playing, due to suspension. They're going to draw up so many. The highest volume will probably be him first, and then I would say Kelsey. The only thing is that at receiver and with the speed and things like that, he probably has more chances to break away and get the yards after the catch and stuff like that. And possibly could be in for a 2-touchdown game, but we know Kelsey probably wins that part of this debate, of who you would want to take at receiver weapons or something like that. Kelsey is known more for getting the touchdowns. St. Brown had only 6 or something? Yeah, 6 last season. So yeah, like when it comes to that, but yards and I think receptions in the game, I would probably lean more with St. Brown, putting him at captain here. Let's see. We got Goff had. I'm trying to remember how many games did he have over 300 yards? Because we looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he had 5 games, which is cool. I do know though he usually plays really good at home. So let's see how many of those were at home. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and one game away was the only one. Okay, so yeah, like I do know that like at home he was killing. He was really killing it. So, and we need that 300 yards to be possibly be a really good captain. So, I don't know if he gets there for sure in this first game, just because his weapons are a little bit limited, and I know that can hurt you, in a way. And they might go leaning on the run a lot, so then that kind of slows it down too for him to get into over 300 yards. But I won't deny that like it can't happen at all because Kansas City plays too fast, man. They play so fast. It gives you too many opportunities, and they get you. What happens is everybody usually gets down against them, and it makes you pass the whole game. So yeah, that's why I say Gibbs, St. Brown. I can see them leaning on a lot. Like Gibbs is gonna be like McKinnon basically probably in this game, and then I think Laporta though when they get to the end zone, they're possibly gonna have to throw some of those. So Laporta is probably gonna be a big play. Like he's probably, like I said, the cheapest captain I feel like that I would be taking here, man. Like if I was really building a lineup, it would be definitely something like this. They just toss something real quick together though. It would be something like this. Boom, boom. Gotta have St. Brown. I would say Goff comes short, so I can't take him anyway. So, but I would think he comes short. I feel like Pat Mahomes probably guaranteed still to throw 300 yards against Detroit too. At that, they was just giving it up. And then let me see. So from this range here, we got 81. Okay. Could go with a kicker just because it's probably gonna be so much scoring here. But I got McKinnon. Wow, yeah. Gotta toss in McKinnon. Then we got 2,500 left. Let's take one of these dart throws. Richie James Jr. is on their team now. Craig Reynolds. Damn, I thought I was gonna be able to pick Josh Reynolds. That would have been just sweet. I probably would just go ahead and toss in this Justin Ross, man. Possibly he gets in. And I would probably leave something like that on the table with 1,500. It's the first game just to be a little bit different. That's probably what I would probably toss in there, man. Like, I know I also could have took Khalif Raymond, and I don't mind taking that too as well. Leaving some money on the table. I seen that it kind of won a lot, I think, last season, man. Like leaving a lot of money like this to be really different. But if you paying up, you probably ain't leaving, too much money. But since I am not paying up, I did get all the big options that I really wanted, and I feel like the safe bets of, like I said, volume. I'm loaded here. Volume. These three right here had so much value, man. Especially red zone volume. So I got like every red zone option. I hit on just this, I know I don't have a quarterback to go together with him, but I still like this, man, because I just think Pat Mahomes probably still outplays, Goff. But if I did take Goff, let me see. If somehow Goff did outplay him, how much does that leave me with to be able to move up? So I might have 2 lineups here for y'all. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm at Sky Moore, Rice, or even Bucker, yeah. Okay, it's not bad, man. I could see something like this too hidden though. So there you go, man. That's the first early look, man. Gave you a couple little lineups that I'm kind of looking at right there that I will kind of start off with, I think, for the first week. So y'all can put those in, man. But like I said, as we get closer, we know all the injury reports that might have to, change throughout the preseason and stuff like that. Also getting to see how teams are looking in the preseason, man. Like what kind of offenses are they running already? What kind of looks are they looking for? Who are they looking for at the red zone as they get down there? Because that's already going to give us a hint to what's going to happen when the season comes. I know most of those teams will probably only see like a first quarter. But that's enough, man. Like if they get into the red zone, the best thing I like is the Chiefs usually actually play Pat Mahomes the first quarter. I do expect Detroit to do the same though with Goff. And the best part is like the Chiefs usually keep everything really simple. They get down the field pretty fast. You can see kind of what they're kind of looking to do, and they usually play Pat like almost the whole preseason. So it's really cool. Like you get to see enough film, I feel like, to know what to expect come this Thursday's game. So hopefully we get the same for Detroit this season and for a lot of other teams so we can get this big wins come week 1, man. It's your boy JAYSTAR, man. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.